A recurring theme of Another Station, Another Mile is the idea that there's history and secrets hidden right in plain sight. Old trains and abandoned structures that normally wouldn't warrant a second look, all teeming with stories ready to be told. Signposts and locations long lost to time, places that used to contain so much that you and I could walk past every day and never realise even existed. And oftentimes it's not like you need to adventure to faraway lands to find them. Such phenomena can be discovered a lot closer to home than you might expect. So given the current lockdown is restricting everyone's ability to travel and explore, I decided to do just that. And wouldn't you know it, not only did I discover an abandoned station in my own hometown, but one that wrote the entire origin story of the town itself. Without it, the town I live in wouldn't exist. It's as simple as that. And despite living here for decades, I hadn't the faintest idea it was ever a thing. Until now. So in this special lockdown episode of Another Station, Another Mile, let's go in search of my local long-lost station, Swanley Junction.
Hello people of the internet, welcome back to my channel and welcome back, sort of, to Another Station, Another Mile. Now despite the fact that it is a gorgeous, warm, sunny day outside right now, perfect day for travelling, with the current situation in place and the coronavirus lockdown active, you're only supposed to travel by train if it's essential, and unfortunately filming a video series for YouTube isn't quite essential enough for that. So I haven't been travelling by train very much at all recently, which may be now puzzling you because I am coming to you from a train station, or a railway station, let's get that right. We're actually right now at my local station. This is Swanley Station, and I've lived in Swanley for just over 20 years now, which is kind of wild to think about. So if I'm not on my local railway station to actually catch a train, then what am I doing here? Well, I figured that if I can't go further afield to explore abandoned stations and artifacts of railway history, how about I bring you something closer to home? Something that I actually didn't know about until very recently. This Swanley station was built in 1939, but before that there was another Swanley station, and it basically was the catalyst for the creation of the Swanley town that exists as we see it today. So it's quite important. What we're going to do on this lockdown special of Another Station, Another Mile is we're going to check out Swanley Junction, my local abandoned station.
So why was the original station located where it was? And as the name suggests, why was it located in a junction? Let's find out with the help of our trusty whiteboard. In 1860, the London, Chatham and Dover Railway were in the process of both building new and amalgamating existing lines from London down to Dover, in competition with the rival South Eastern Railway. No, don't worry, not that one. If the name sounds familiar, do you remember the Thameslink episode? Yeah, they were the ones who built the original route from Herne Hill to Holborn Viaduct, including the original Blackfriars Station. The entire London, Chatham and Dover Railway route was a hive of activity in the early 1860s, and the line between Bickley and Rochester was opened in December 1860, with intermediate stops at St Mary Cray, Farningham Road and Rochester Bridge. But not at Swanley. Well, why was that? Well, simply, Swanley basically didn't exist at this time. All that was there was the original village of Swanley, now known as Swanley Village, and a crossroads with less than a handful of houses. By chance, the independent Sevenoaks Railway Company built a branch off the London, Chatham and Dover Railway main line to head down towards Sevenoaks, clues in the name of the company really, with the junction being situated conveniently close to this existing crossroads. The London, Chatham and Dover Railway built a station within the junction, which opened just 1 month after the Sevenoaks branch did, on the 1st of July 1862. Originally named Sevenoaks Junction, what would become the town of Swanley rapidly started growing around this new station. 3 hospitals, a chapel, and a world-renowned horticultural college all opened between 1885 and 1901, the location being close enough to London for convenience while still being out in the rural countryside of Kent. The station lasted here for just over 75 years, until closing down in 1939 to be replaced by the now current Swanley station, situated just west of the junction itself. And by just west, I really do mean just west. The side of the old station can be easily seen from the platforms of the current one. So why the move? Well, we'll find out that part later, but for now, let's head to the side of the original Swanley Junction station and see what we can find.
So I've left the current Swanley station, I've come just a few streets away, and I now find myself on Station Road, where there isn't actually a station. There's quite a few things on Station Road, granted. There's a kebab shop, there's a barber shop, which I usually frequent, although not recently for obvious reasons. There's not one but two pubs, including a little micro pub that I'm rather fond of. If you're ever stopping through Swanley, I can recommend the Cotton Mill. It's very nice. And there's also a car dealership which specialises in classic minis. But, like I said, there's no railway station. So why is it called Station Road? Yep, you're spot on. This is the exact place where the original Swanley Junction station was and where Station Road got its original name. In fact, the site of the original Swanley Junction is just over my shoulder there, and most of it at street level is taken up by a car park. What have I said before in the past about a lot of old railway sites and that becoming car parks? Here's another giveaway. The original station buildings and station master's house would have been over there. In fact, the station master's house was one of the first houses built in what we now know as the town of Swanley, which was originally known as Swanley Junction. That's how much it's linked to the original station. There literally was not a town of Swanley here as we know it until the station arrived here in the 1860s. And I love the fact that I've lived here for so long, walked down this very street and frequented it for years and years, been a big train nerd, and never knew about the history that was right here on basically on my doorstep.
Sadly, there really isn't much left to find at the old Swanley Junction station. All the old buildings and platforms are gone, and the station master's old house survived until the 1970s before being demolished. The original goods yard south of the junction down the Sevenoaks branch has also slowly been built over. Currently it's the site of a Siemens facility, appropriate given Siemens built Class 700 trains operate through here every day on the Thameslink services. So why was the original Swanley Junction replaced? Well, thankfully it wasn't just because of a mass crusade of rail and station closures like the 1960s beaching cuts. Nor was it, as some believe, because of a tragic accident that occurred at the station in June 1937, where a steam train passed a red signal at high speed and collided with wagons in a siding, with 4 dead and 49 injured as a result. No, it was simply out of convenience. The Southern Railway at the time wanted to run new fast electric trains from London to Gillingham and Sevenoaks, with one train splitting into two at Swanley Junction to go their separate ways southbound and vice versa upon returning to London. Unfortunately, the location of Swanley Junction station meant that trains had to divide in two west of the junction, therefore blocking the main lines and causing a bit of a faff. So what to do? Simple. Build a shiny new station just west of the junction with 4 through lines. Plenty of space for your splits and movements now. The new Swanley station was opened on 2nd of July 1939, 77 years and 1 day exactly after the original Swanley Junction station opened. And in a nice touch, the daughter of the Swanley Junction station master was given the honour of buying the first ticket from the new Swanley station. Nice.
So, sit rep at the end of that. I'm very sweaty, my feet are a bit sore, and I'm probably massively sunburnt, but our quest to find the original Swanley Junction station site was successful. And with that, I'm gonna head for home. And unlike most times, it doesn't involve an epic multi-stage train journey to get home. In fact, it's just a 20-minute walk that way. In the meantime, I hope you guys are staying safe in lockdown and staying at home as much as you can. I hope I've brought you a little bit of exploration and inquisitiveness for lockdown times. I'll see you guys next time on another station, another mile.